Toth Construction started with my father back in 1976. He built this company on tradition, craft, and doing right by people, and we've never lost sight of that. When someone invites us into their home or trusts us to build them a new one, we don't take that lightly. Our promise is simple: treat their home like it's our own and deliver work we're proud to stand behind for decades. We're not just building a structure, we are building an experience, a process that feels considered, respectful, and collaborative from start to finish. The Rainier Square Residence was a special project, one of the most unique homes we've ever built, 57 stories up in the heart of downtown Seattle. This was about bringing warmth, detail, and personal touches into a space that most people would consider unbuildable. But with the right team and with a shared vision, we made it happen. We have a wonderful client that is excited about this space. They got their hands on one of the more amazing properties in all of Seattle. We just completed demolition and removal. We're excited to take you on this journey and show you what's all involved in turning a gray shell space like this into one of the premier residential spaces in all of Seattle. So one of our first challenges with this particular project is all of the penetrations through different floor levels. We're in a high-rise building and we're joining 3 different units into one big unit. And so there's a certain number of penetrations we had to eliminate, 92 of them. And then we had to relocate new drain lines and piping, over 80 of them, into new locations. We want to avoid as much of the structural steel and rebar as possible. So one of the things the guys had to do is have an X-ray machine come out and locate where all of the pieces of rebar are laid in the current concrete slab, and then try our best to avoid coring through those structural pieces of steel. It's the unseen work that allows everything else to shine. Every great home is only as strong as its bones. So here we are in the next phase of our project. We are now going into framing. So you can see here we are framing with steel stud partition walls, and it's an exciting time for the project as the spaces begin to define themselves. These high-rise buildings are designed to move with the wind and the wind loading, and rather than having any movement translate into the ceiling diaphragm, which would result in cracks, we want to see that happen at the plate level. One of the other interesting things about steel stud framing is that they come pre-drilled for the rough-ins, for electrical and plumbing. All of these holes align, and that'll be our next phase in this project. After framing is complete, we'll be bringing in the plumbing and the electrical work, and they'll be pulling their wires and pipes through these holes to get to where they need to be. As the skeleton takes shape, the project comes to life, from the wiring and the water lines to the climate control and soundproofing. So we have now completed our framing phase, and we're now moving into our MEP phase, which is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing rough-ins. We're bringing in all of the mechanical work, which is our plumbing and our ducting and all of our electrical wiring to facilitate all of the lighting and all of the water and drainage, heating and cooling. In the kitchen island area, you can see where we've roughed in our water supply. We have our waistline water, and of course our electrical for appliances and outlets. So we are insulating, and we are now going to hang drywall and tape it, get our walls and ceilings in place, and all of our finished panels, so then the finishes can come into the building. These are drywall screws that penetrate the steel stud formations underneath and hang it onto the framing. One of the things we pay a lot of attention to in a space like this is sound attenuation. You got residents above you and below you, and you want to keep all the sound within this unit and not have that transmit through. When it comes to drywall, we use thicker drywall, 5/8 drywall, and we use a SureBoard. It's got a metal plate on the back that also helps with sound attenuation, very dense. Now that we are nearing the end of that drywall hanging phase, we will bring in the plasters who will tape the corner beads and make all the screws and blemishes go away and be smooth walls, after which we will paint and start to bring in the finishes into the building, which will be really fun. The project was off to a great start. It was just as exciting for us to see all 3 spaces merge together into one amazing space. So this is a big transition now from rough construction into finishes. So the flooring that we're putting down here is a oak wide plank flooring with an engineered back. It is a French cut, plate slice flooring, solid wood. And one of the interesting things about it is it's all being adhered down with adhesive on top of acoustical isolation pads, so that sound doesn't transmit to the neighbors below us or above us. This is the point in the project where it starts to feel real. Rooms are taking shape, finishes are going in, and you begin to see how everything we've planned is actually coming together. It's still a job site, but the vision is starting to show through. At this stage, everything is about executing. The lines, the joints, the materials, this is where all the planning really starts to show up in the work. So now we're entering an exciting time in the project where we're putting in all of the finishes. This is kind of a fun time in the project. You get to see a lot of the plans take shape. Beautiful custom-made cabinets that are all getting placed in for the kitchen area right here. We had the stained cabinets in the kitchen area, and back here in the laundry utility areas, it's a painted cabinet. Here we have the shower panel board. This is from Alex Churko, an artisan that makes these resin panels. Over here now we've got our tub enclosure from Ammunil. This is made in Pittsburgh. This is all solid brass. The kitchen is also starting to take shape. Some exciting things happening here. We have all of our absolute black countertops in, also done by Western Tile and Marble, and our brass faucets. Our tile installer was Jerry Wright. It's master craftsman. Obviously the work here is incredible. It's not an easy backsplash to install. It's an amalgamation of different materials. We have a Calcutta marble, Nero black marble, and brushed brass pieces inlaid in to create this artisanal piece. In the guest bathroom, we've also made lots of progress. The vanity piece is now in place. This is designed by Studio AM, the architects of the project. Done a beautiful job here. This is blue Roma marble, very dramatic. The wall-hung toilets that we have here are from Duravit with the wall-mounted trip lever. And of course, that beautiful plasterwork by Studio C, Kathy Connor. So one of the final phases of the finish work that we have here is all of the wall paneling and ceiling paneling that goes throughout the whole space. Dennis here with Northwest Custom Interiors is beginning that process. You can see here that he's got the panel pieces all made and fabricated, and all of these wall areas are going to be clad in a rift sawn white oak wood paneling. The design of the home is obviously very luxurious and very elegant. The designers have gone to great lengths to conceal appliances and refrigerators, blend all the cabinetry so it fits in seamlessly with the rest of the millwork. Very quiet and serene. Just a very amazing space to be in. Okay, now the moment we've been working towards. After 20 months of effort, a dedicated project build and design team, over 170 floor and ceiling penetrations, miles of elevator travel, this is our final reveal. The interior designer was Daniel Craig of Studio AM. All of the furnishings are installed and the owner has moved in, so we now get to see the final results, which will show the inspiring weave of a one-of-a-kind space. Incredible and innovative architectural elements and the furnishings, all of which were carefully selected and commissioned specifically for this space. The result is a rare and unique world-class residence for a wonderful and discerning client. Let's take a look. If you're watching this and thinking about starting your own project, our goal is simple: to make the best experience you've ever had with a builder. Not just a beautiful home, but a process that feels clear, thoughtful, and built around you. Toss started with my dad in 1976. He was swinging a hammer and building homes, doing the work all by himself. Today, we're building custom homes 57 stories up in the heart of downtown Seattle. What hasn't changed is how we show up, with care, with integrity, and with the same pride in our craft that my dad had in 1976. One of my favorite moments from this project was walking the client through the space once the finishes were in. Seeing that look, that moment where they realize it's not just a drawing anymore, it's theirs. Man, that moment never gets old. We take the work seriously, but we also make it personal. That's how we lead, that's how we build, and that's what makes the difference, start to finish. You can hire any builder to complete a project, but if you're looking for a team that understands your vision, respects your time, and brings thoughtfulness to every detail, we'd love to be part of it. This is more than just construction. It's craft, it's care, it's Toth.